This trip meant a lot. I mean, honestly, I didn't know much about British politics in coming to this trip, but as an international politics student, I definitely wanted to take advantage of this and really just got to get an inside look into this. And it turned out to be a crazy election with crazy results. And so I'm really glad that I got to go on this trip, experience a different country, and really just learn along the way. Thank you, SFS and GU Politics.
We live in a really interesting moment in history, and it's a really unique opportunity to be able to cross the pond and meet some of the best political minds in the world. And it's a really special thing to be able to see them in action and really get inside their head right before the election. Thank you, SFS, and thank you, GU Politics.
So this trip was an opportunity for me to really go ahead and start to look at politics on a larger world scale. It was really interesting to see both the parallels between the current US politics and sort of the idea that polls aren't always right, and also to see just the large differences between both systems of governments, everything from how long a campaign lasts here to even just the campaign finance rules themselves. And I think that overall the trip was just a great way to really just indulge in just a lot of academia from across the political spectrum, and I really want to give a thanks to GU Politics and SFS for that opportunity.
So for me, having a personal interest in international politics, getting to go abroad during such a unique time in the UK and actually experience what's going on there by being there really helped me understand it in a new way and gain a perspective I don't think I could have gained otherwise. A really rewarding aspect for me was getting to speak to some of the candidates and staffers and even journalists who are involved and have been there this whole time, who really got to shed extra light on it for me that I don't think I could have gotten just by reading the news. Thank you, SFS and GU Politics.
This trip was my first time ever leaving the country, and just an incredibly unique and exceptionally exciting way to do it. I've had a lifelong interest in American politics and have spent a long time at Georgetown studying American politics, working on the Hill, and this was just the most incredible time to be able to compare that to the British system and how they run their elections and their government, and learn about their culture and how that influences their political atmosphere at home. Thanks to GU Politics and SFS.
On this trip I learned that I know and I knew a lot less about British politics than I thought I did, and that it is possible to acquire a lot of knowledge in a week's time. I did not realize how much I learned until now, when I thought about all the things that I understand coming out of the election that I had no clue about before. And I just want to say thank you to the SFS and GU Politics for making this trip possible for all of us.
So this trip meant to me having a chance to go to a different country, such a different place, but actually it was really similar, and I learned so much about our country from this one politically, and so it was great to engage and to meet new people, and it was the opportunity of a lifetime. Thank you to the SFS and GU Politics. We couldn't have done it without you. It was an amazing time.
First off, I just want to thank GU Politics and the SFS for this amazing opportunity. I'm so grateful to have been able to have immersed myself in other nations' politics. I'm eager to take all the information and the different systems I learned about in Britain to apply and engage more with back home.
I think this has been a really exhilarating experience to see an election of a people that are so similar to us and so similar in history, and yet have an electoral politics that is different in some really stark ways that throw politics in the United States into relief. A snap election here for just 6 weeks, an incredibly low-key media presence compared to the bombardment in the United States that we suffer for 2 years. But on the other hand, a young generation that is not being understood or captured by the professionals that are paid to do this. And I think it's an exciting time to be in politics because it's an uncertain time. And I would just personally like to thank SFS and GU Politics for giving me and everyone else here an opportunity to experience this.
So I learned a lot of things on this trip, some stuff about myself and of course about the country. The main thing I learned is that there's actually a lot more accountability in the UK parliamentary system in many, many respects than in the US, that there's more access to their MPs. Most constituents have more access to their MPs than we could say that we do with our Congress people. It has a lot of reasons why that is. It's a more informal campaigning process in terms of a hired staff, and there's a lot more mechanisms for that. But this trip really, at the end of the day, gave me the opportunity to kind of see the elections firsthand in a way that I just simply couldn't have done any other way. It gave me access to really interesting people. It gave me access to pollsters and social media experts and party leaders, and this is something that I will treasure forever. Thank you, SFS and Geopolitics. I really appreciate it.